Hey everyone, this is SPIRO. I need your help out there right now. This is a call to action. Missouri needs your help right now. This country needs your help. I know that there's a lot of things wrong in this country, but right now, this radioactive crisis in the heart of this country outside of St. Louis needs attention drawn to it. We need to demand accountability from our local uh, appointed and elected representatives all the way up to the highest levels. Now, this petition needs 3,021 signatures to reach its goal to demand action from Governor Jay Nixon to prevent potential radioactive catastrophe in St. Louis. I'm going to leave a link for this one as well as this one here for whitehouse.gov. Now, this one we need to put our work in on it. We're sitting at 1,269 total signers. We have 98,000 to go, but we can do this. Just start chipping away at it. If you want to help, please share this information, sign it, encourage others to sign it, make them aware of this situation in St. Louis, just outside of St. Louis. There is nearly 50,000 tons of radioactive material from the Manhattan Project that's been illegally dumped in a neighborhood, basically. I mean, it's at a landfill, but it's might as well be a freaking neighborhood, okay? Because that's what's around there. I'm going to show you some information here from the past, some of these maps and news articles here, some clips I'm going to be playing and bring you up to speed on this. I've done multiple videos on this. I have a list on my channel, and I'm going to add this one to it. But please, I need your help out there to get this information out there. People are out there fighting. We need to support them. We're all in this together, and the time is now. We have a crisis happening right now in this country. It's been going on for decades. It's been covered up for a long time. I fear that there are many, many more situations similar to this around this country that is still being covered up that people are not aware of. What you're looking at is a cancer cluster map around the Coldwater Creek area just outside of St. Louis, Missouri. Many people firmly believe, and there's evidence that supports, that this cancer cluster is the direct result of radioactive nuclear waste that has contaminated this area. And you can see it's all centered around the Coldwater Creek area. Here's the Westlake landfill.
Secrets beneath the banks and waters of a North County creek that may be linked to a staggering number of cancers, illnesses, and birth defects. As the I-Team's Lisa Zigman reports tonight, in just 4 square miles, there are 3 reported cases of conjoined twins and cancer rates that one data expert says is statistically impossible.
Let's take a look at some of what they're talking about here. Here's Coldwater Creek. Here's Westlake landfill. This is a map of lupus cases, brain cancer and brain tumors, autoimmune disorders, any reported form of cancer, autoimmune and other reported illnesses, MS, any reported form of cancer, thyroid cancer and thyroid conditions, and appendix cancer.
Another classmate is now a professor of statistics at Northwestern University, and she ran her own analysis. She says the likelihood of so many of her peers having cancer is 0.00000001, a statistical improbability.
We are talking about 50,000 tons of radioactive nuclear waste left over from the Manhattan Project. This is an actual photo.
Lisa, what about the Centers for Disease Control? Can they determine if there's a cancer cluster here?
It's possible if they decide to get involved, and that's what this group ultimately wants. They want to have their data validated and to finally uncover the truth. Now, the stuff at Coldwater Creek, most of it has been cleaned up, but some of the same nuclear waste that contaminated Coldwater Creek ended up at the Westlake landfill in Earth City. The landfill sits on a floodplain just 8 miles from a water intake station.
Now, those maps, those clips, and this right here from the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers is a little bit dated. It's a couple years old, and this just gives you some background on severity of the situation here. Now, they state during this move, handling and transport and storage of the contamination spread the materials along haul routes adjacent to the properties. I mean, this spread some very serious radioactive materials such as radium, thorium, uranium, you name it. Very, very bad stuff. Now, if you come over here, their selected remedy, they go and break it down, and I'm going to leave links for all this, but as you can see here, remove contaminated soils from the surfaces of buildings and structures. So even the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers years ago knew the severity of this situation. Here's a map of the areas that they wanted to look at, and you can see here the Coldwater Creek continues to the Missouri River. Now, they stated in one of those clips that this area of this waste is in a floodplain. It's also in a tornado-prone area. It also sits right off of a major fault line, the New Madrid fault line, that's had an 8.0. This was a couple hundred years ago, but still, it is an active fault line. Now, this brings us right here to the Westlake landfill and the Bridgeton landfill. This area here, OU1 and OU2, have the contaminated radioactive nuclear waste there. Now, over here in this area, there is an underground fire, and technically it's not really a fire as we would think of it. It is a chemical reaction that has been smoldering for 5 years and progressing towards this radioactive nuclear waste. Now, they can't just stir up the ground and try to dig it up, because that would introduce oxygen to the situation, into the equation, and it would essentially add fuel to the flames. Now, they can't just pour water on it either, especially if it reaches this nuclear radioactive waste. And as you can see, there are neighborhoods and everything all around this area here. There was a meeting that just took place on October 26th. I want to share a couple clips so you can get a feel for what the people are going through there.
American tap water, it's according to a quick Google search, 80% of its surface water comes from the Missouri River, which borders our service area on the north and west. So if you said it's flowing north and west, and the water company is getting it from the north and west, how do we know it's not already in the water?
When the water is pulled out of the river, what happens to it? They purify the water, they precipitate out all the stuff that's in the water, the flocculants and everything else. Radium and everything else that's in the water goes out with the uranium, goes out with all the other flocculants, all the other heavy metals that come out that are in the water. And then by law, the water companies are supposed to give you a report on an annual basis of what this affects in the water.
So if I understand you correctly, sir, you're saying that the water company is filtering out radioactive particles. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, they are removing the radioactive particles. And if the water companies...
Can we get maybe a statement from Missouri American Water on that for the record? We should reach out to them and see if they actually
get some emails out.
Dr. Sharp here.
The state, well, I would say this, but EPA may be a better answer, but the state regulates the drinking water supply through the Safe Drinking Water Act.
Great. What happened?
All right. All right.
What's a fire out? Yeah, I think it's fire out.
Another point, I'm glad whoever made that comment brought that up, was talking about the subsurface event that's going on in the Bridgeton portion of this side. So we owe you a decision, and we're going to make a decision by the end of this calendar year. This calendar year.
You don't have time pretty much.
Sir, can I propose a question to you?
Sure.
Now, we talked about this fire over and over.
6, 7, or 8.
Sir, I like to respond, and I'm done.
Okay.
But my response is real simple. These are all these people from the federal government. We are having a meeting about anything that could be a disaster, and so nobody is qualified to answer this question.
Yeah.
Dr. Alvarez is qualified, and when you came there, you were right there 2 years ago to the day at another meeting hall, and you know what he told us? Absolutely. I can send you the YouTube video. He said it's going to be an absolute problem because the seismic shift, there is no guarantee that you're not going to have an open line from wherever that nuclear material is. So for me, I'm leaving. Let me tell you why. Because we are constantly, I don't want to look at any more slides. It's real simple. The federal government, in the Manhattan Project, signed a contract with Malcolm and every other company to say they were responsible. When they created this, they didn't know it was to deal with nuclear waste. So what we need to do is A, make sure any entity that's going to do it is licensed. B, your guys' boss, Obama, spent $150 billion on the Iran nuclear deal.
Yeah.
That's $200–300 million for St. Louis.
Now, what you can do to help is spread this information, make people aware of this current crisis that's happening right now, that's been happening, this cover-up. We need action taken now. The people in Missouri need action taken now. We can't sit around and wait for other people to do this. We can't just, oh, whatever. This is happening now. This is a situation that affects all of us. I don't care your race, your color, your creed, your gender. None of that matters. We are all in this together. So I'm going to leave a link for this petition as well as one other. We need to be able to hit this 15,000 mark, no problem, by like tomorrow, by today. We need to make this happen right here. Hold the governor accountable. We need to hold our elected and appointed representatives or officials or whatever you want to call them. They need to be held accountable now. Here's a link to the other petition right here. This is for whitehouse.gov. This is a big-time petition that we need to see reach its goal. I know we've seen in the past other petitions, the numbers get messed with, and they knock down the numbers to try to prevent people from reaching that 100,000 mark. But right here, we're sitting at less than 1,300. This is unacceptable. We need to get this number up right now. Start chipping away at this 98,000. We can do it. All we need to do is share the information, let people know, educate people, because this is a very, very serious situation right now. Please and thank you, share this information.
What a break, a separation, a barrier between where we know the SSC
How long
will
will
be.
it take?
We're going to make that decision by the end of this year.